everybody, how you doing? This is Robert Rivera with Who's On First, and today I bring you Jeremiah. Jeremiah, he has a podcast called Locked On Marlins, and he's going to tell us the good, the bad, the ugly of the Marlins, and he's going to let us know what's going on. So, Jeremiah, tell me introduce yourself.
Hey, yeah, Rob, thanks for having me on your show. I'm Jeremiah Geiger. I'm the host over at Locked On Marlins. Monday through Friday, daily Marlins content, 30-minute episodes, just bringing you the news, the rumors, the recaps, everything in between with the team. That's your place to go.
All right. So, if you guys like the Marlins, that's the place to go. But here's one of my big questions: all 30 teams in in the MLB. Why the Marlins? Why are you focused on the Marlins? Why are you such a fan?
Yeah, just when I was a kid, I was actually on the West Coast. We didn't have a baseball team over there like that I could root for. I was growing up in Oregon, and I was rooting for the Mariners when I first started getting into baseball. Didn't really know a ton, and I was watching the Mariners versus the Marlins, and Giancarlo Stanton hit a walk-off home run. And ever since then, I became a huge Stanton fan and a diehard Marlins fan, all the way from the West Coast, rooting for a team in Florida.
All right. All right. So, I mean, what is your favorite moment out of the Marlins? I know you said that Juan Carlos hitting that home run. What is your another favorite moment of yours?
Yeah, there's been a few of them, real good ones. One of them I would say is just the first time I got to see the Marlins in person when my dad took me to a Marlins Diamondbacks series and 3 games in a row got to watch them. That was awesome. Justin Bohr, for Marlins fans that remember him, hit a grand slam. That was pretty cool to see, and just being in the environment, seeing my team play live. Anytime that happens, it's an awesome experience. Even now.
All right. So I know you're really intense with the Marlins, and I seen your podcast there. You're talking about the good, the bad, the ugly of the Marlins. Give me three good things about the Marlins and three bad things about the Marlins.
Well, I'll start with the good here. First thing that the Marlins do well, they develop pitching. The Marlins have no shortage of pitchers that come up through their organization and exude a lot of talent. Ryan Weathers, right now, has all-star potential. He's under control till 2029. Yuri Perez is about to return from Tommy John surgery. They do a good job at acquiring or drafting and developing pitching. Number two, the way that they've improved the farm system. The farm system over the last few years was awful, but Peter Bendix has injected talent into this system in the minor leagues. He's going to continue to do so, and I'm excited to see how far it goes. Number three, let's see here. I would say the stadium. I really like the stadium. The Marlins Lone Depot Park is a beautiful ballpark, and when the Marlins start winning one day, that place hopefully gets filled up. It's going to be an awesome environment. It's clean. It's nice. Everything there is. It just feels like a good quality environment to watch a baseball game. So I think that's the third one I'll go with. And then for the bad things, there's a lot because Marlins have been losing for years. I would say continuity, being able to string together winning seasons or string together competitive teams. That's been a thing that's plagued the Marlins for years, even back to the World Series teams. You made the playoffs back in 2023, and then it starts all over again. You start another rebuild. Fans are just tired of the rebuild. The second part, drafting and developing hitters. I talked about how the Marlins are good at drafting and developing pitchers. On the flip side, we've really yet to see the Marlins develop quality hitters through the draft or turn a later round pick into something really special. I want to see that change. I want to see the scouting department and the the decisions they make on draft day are going to affect this team for years to come. You have to draft better and develop better. And then the third bad thing that the Marlins do, honesty with the fans. Just being transparent, being upfront, hey, this is what we're doing. Don't play games, no word salad, just hey, this is what's happening. Don't say something that you're not trying to achieve. And when the owner says, I think we're going to win a lot more games than you expect us to, but only signs 2 free agents over the last 2 years, there's a level of respect that's just not met with the fan base and ownership. It has to be a mutual, coming together of understanding what the goal is, not just saying a bunch of stuff and then not doing anything about it either.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about the fans, and I have a friend of mine who actually this year, for the first time in the last, he's been a season ticket holder, I think about 15 years, and this year he dropped his season tickets. He wasn't interested in going back again, because the money that he's putting out and the product that he's getting is flipped. It's not what he's paying for, and
Right.
it was disheartening to him to go again this season, put down this money, and to know that you're going into a season where you're going to get, um I don't know, uh garbage minutia, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's just, he's like, "Yeah, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm done." And it hurt him because he's a big baseball guy, and he still go to a game here and there, but he is not going to be putting down that money for a season ticket anymore. So I mean, the fans are upset, and as we say, we the people are sick and tired, and
Yeah.
they're tired of the losing. They're just tired of the losing. Give them a playoff. Give them a something. Give them a something. Give them a wild card. Give them something. Give them a compete. Let's compete. Let's
Yeah.
let's
Competitive
compete.
baseball. That's all we want. Just
Let, let,
competitive
let, let's
baseball.
let's compete. And that's what I tell my kids. I'm like, I don't care if you come in ninth in the 8-man race. I want you to come out of there with huffing and puffing with your tongue in your pocket. Give me something. But
Right.
when you give them nothing and they go, "Oh, we won, we lose," it's a little disheartening, especially for the fan. Going back to that stadium, fortunate for me, that's become. I was always a big Yankee guy, but it has become my adopted stadium. I was lucky enough to umpire 3 games on that field. I was there for the WBC. I was there for the Caribbean World Series. I was there for a showcase. And I got to tell you, the stadium is beautiful. Has a lot of stuff. You could walk around that whole place. You can go from a barbecue place to a Spanish place to a Cuban lounge to a nice bar area. And I got to tell you, they say maybe baseball is not in Miami, but I'm gonna tell you, you're full of bull when you say that, because that Caribbean World Series, that place was rocking. That
Oh
place,
yeah.
yeah. And when it came to the WBC, I mean, I don't think Major League Baseball did a hell of a job there, and the teams that they put at the Lone Depot Park, Venezuela, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Honduras, Nicaragua, they put those teams there. Hell, even Team Israel, and I was shocked. I didn't realize the Israeli community that is in Miami. The
Mm.
Cubans, they were also there. So, and the Caribbeans love their baseball. Even Curacao had a nice fan base come out. So you can't sit there and tell me that people in Miami don't like baseball. And especially when it came to the Savannah Bananas, 37,000 people outside begging for tickets. So
Wow.
when you can do that for a area, they will come. They will come. But they don't want to, they're not coming to see a team lose. Nobody wants to spend $400 on tickets with your family, food, parking, all this to come to lose.
Well, to lose and then not be connected to the players, like the average fan isn't going to know who these players are in a rebuild every 3 4 years, and you're picking up waiver wire guys, and you trade away all your stars. They want to feel that connection, that fan player connection from player to fan, and you're going to go to the game. I mean, the average person's not going to know or feel emotional about this team or
Right.
truly care about this team when they're 20 games, 30 games under 500 in July. It's just at that point, it's a cool experience. And I'm sure there's a lot of other things to do. And why would they choose that when they could be doing something else? So it takes both. It really does take both. But like you said, like when the winning, when the team wants to win and will commit to winning and not just like say it, but do it and prove it. They need to prove it because I think they're on the right path. I think they're going to be competitive. Well, I hope they're going to be competitive. That's the optimist in me in a couple of seasons. But they've got to prove it, not just 1 year. It's got to be a couple years of winning, and then I think fans are going to start noticing. But it's not going to be easy.
And like I said, that stadium is an awesome stadium. It can get packed. You can get it if you want, but if they're not going to put the effort forward, nobody's going to come. So, I mean, you're a big Marlins fan, and yeah, I got a 12-year-old kid, and he doesn't know what team to root for. And how do you convert him over into a Marlins fan? How would you do it?
Oh, well, I would say, hey, you like these colors? You like these uniforms? That's about all I got for you. I mean, it's hard. Like
Uh,
it, we didn't choose being a Marlins fan. It just kind of happened to us, you know. I mean, if it's strictly based on having fun and winning, there's a lot of other good teams out there that I wouldn't mind being a fan of. But hey, Marlins are my ride and die. You know, I love this team, and that's just who I am.
yeah. And I'm starting to see it now with the Tampa Bay Rays, also the Oakland A's. They're losing a lot of their fan base, and a lot
Yeah,
of people they're just giving up. The Rockies, another beautiful stadium, wonderful stadium. My brother was there, and he said the stadium is so awesome. But then you have a team that's 9-50. I'm like,
right.
who wants to go to a game when you know you're gonna lose? But and speaking of losing, the Marlins got swept by the
Yeah,
Rockies. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's like you got swept by the worst team in Major League Baseball. My
Major League Baseball history.
history,
You know,
yeah.
up to that point. That's what I'm talking about. It's just there's a I understand that the Marlins are rebuilding. I'm not crazy. I'm not going to tell you this team was expected to be good. But there's also a level of where I demand the Marlins to not embarrass themselves. And that was embarrassing. You're getting national attention on Sports Center about the Rockies winning 3 games in a row. Oh, who are they playing? Yeah, that's my team. Oh, wow, that's your team? Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
that shouldn't happen. Bad baseball, bad coaching, just fundamentals. It goes back to fundamentals, and I just wanna see I respect the game too much for baseball not to be, disrespected, and when you can't get swept by the Rockies. It just can't happen. Like, if you lose 1, whatever, I'm still gonna be pissed, but losing 3? Come on now.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna forget that for a while.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys that I get charged up. Like, we went
Yeah.
we played out in Puerto Rico at one point, and we were champions here and champions there. We go to Puerto Rico, we got our behinds handed to us, and there was a last game. It was an elimination game. We knew they put us against the number one guy, and this guy was throwing BBs. He looked like Pedro Martinez, and I tell you, I was so mad that my team already gave up as soon as this guy was warming up. Yeah, I was so mad. I come up in the second inning and I hit a double off the wall. I'm standing at second base and I'm like, damn it, if I can hit him, anybody can hit him. I'm probably the worst hitter on the team. We wound up
Right.
mercying. We wound up mercying those guys, and we got bounced out of the tournament. It didn't matter because it was like a 4 game minimum, and that was our fourth game, and we were 0-3, and we wound up walking
Yeah.
out there 1-3, and they wound up winning the whole thing. They wound up winning it, and I was like, and my pride was I didn't leave out of there 0-4, and I beat the number one team. So
Yeah. It's something to take away.
Yeah, and it's I'm like I it's okay. We took a behind whooping. I get it. We were overranked. We were overrated. We were overwhelmed. But you know what? I came back. We came back, and we that number one team. We mercied them. We mercied them, and they wound up winning the whole tournament. And I was like, that's what we're looking for, right? That's what
Absolutely.
we're looking for. We're looking for a fight. We're looking for a dog who has the fight in him. And that's all the Marlins. That's all you can ask. You can come ninth in an 8-man race. But if you come out of there with your tongue in your pocket and beat up and torn shirt,
Yep.
shows me you put in a fight, and I'm like, that's all I can ask. That's all I can ask. You put up a fight. I mean, you got your behind.
Especially in a season like this, and they have for most of the year, and I hope that they don't lose that competitiveness and fight over the course of a season because it's a long year and, you still have 90 plus games. Yeah, you still have a while, so you gotta dial in and make sure you're locked in for the rest of the season and just prepare yourself.
Now you talked about this year, and for me, this year, I don't see any like these guys are in it. These guys are killers. These guys, maybe a Dodger, maybe the Dodgers, but I don't see the killer teams anymore this year. And I think anybody this year has a shot at it, has a
Yeah.
shot at walking away with the trophy. It's not like back in the day, oh, the Yankees were always going to be in the World Series, and you knew that, the Phillies were going to make it, and you knew these guys were going to make the playoffs and stuff. This year, I went to spring training, I looked around, and I really don't see that, you know, those teams that are like, oh yeah, these guys are in it. What are you thinking this year?
Yeah, I think it's one of those years in which the Dodgers were expected to be the world beaters and win 115 games, and that just never happened. I mean, you got to play the games on the field. It's not just paper. I've seen this too many times. Super teams that, not to say the Dodgers are a bad team, they're just not as great as advertised record-wise, and that's fine. But I like the Tigers. I think the Tigers are a really good team for baseball. I think they have the best record in the American League as of right now, and they've been bad for so long, but they rebuilt. They have studs. They have Tarek Skubal, who's one of my favorite pitchers to watch in the game, and they're at a point where they can legitimately make a couple moves at the deadline if they have to and go try to win a World Series. That's awesome for the sport of baseball. It really is awesome because it shows that anyone can do it. It's not going to be the Yankees and Dodgers every single season. Pencil them in because here's the thing: those teams are going to be good, but you have to play the games on the field, and that requires so much more than just talent. It requires knowing the game, the analytical part of the game, the mental side of the game. There's so much to the sport of baseball. So I'm excited. I can't wait to see, who comes out on top. I love playoff baseball. There's really nothing like it. The atmosphere. Now, I imagine the Marlins in that situation again because we only had 2 games in 2023. I want that again. I want the Marlins to be there and compete for a championship.
Okay. So you think the Marlins will be there at the end? Do you think they'll make the playoffs?
Not this season.
Not this season. Yeah, yeah.
No, they're 15 games under 500. I don't think they make the playoffs this year. I don't think they make it next year. I think if you're not competitive in 2027 with signs of improvement in 2026. So signs of improvement next season and then 27 you should be competing for at least a wild card spot because if you don't then you're in trouble.
Okay.
The rebuilds like might have failed at that
Yeah.
point.
So for those Marlin fans out there, tell me how this started with the Locked On the Marlins. How did that all get going for you?
Yeah, so I had a podcast I started up a few 3 years ago called Marlins 9. I just wanted to it was always a goal of mine to start a podcast and I would do about a weekly episode, try to do weekly episodes. And then I applied this off season for Locked On Marlins. There was an opening and they were like, "Yeah, let's do it." And they hired me and it's been a really awesome experience. At the same time, a eye-opening experience. I've learned a lot. I think I've grown a lot. and it's a grind. It requires a lot, this team every single day, but I want to anytime someone comes up to me or in the YouTube comments and tells me, "Hey, I love your podcast. You're doing a great job. Keep it up." Like that's what I love to hear, and that's the drive that keeps me going, and the belief in myself.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I started the YouTube channel, Who's on First, the show for just to get people interested in baseball, because I
Yeah,
see that the people are dying. The baseball games, people are barely showing up. I mean, hell, the Tampa Bay Rays can't sell out Steinbrenner Stadium. It's only 11,000 people. They had 9,000 one day, and they thought that was spectacular. So I mean, it's just for me, it's baseball is dying, and they're missing that fan. They're missing that
right.
fan, and the fan is missing out on a lot of good stuff. Because yeah, you know what? Maybe yeah, you didn't get an autograph. Maybe you didn't get the best seat in the house, but there's always something. There's always a great play that happens. There's always something amazing that happens.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I turn around, like I was at the Tampa Bay Toronto game, and to see Bo Bichette and Vlad Guerrero Jr., the way they work together, and to see that Guerrero Jr. at 200 pounds and do a split, and Bo Bichette come up with this little, hey, right off his hands into the glove, off the hand, boom, 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 little shotgun thing. It was like, I was like, whoa, that's some good stuff, and that's
Yeah.
started with this. So yeah, I mean, now we talk about winning, and I know at one point Derek Jeter got a piece of the Marlins, and he one day just abruptly left. Do you think he foresaw where they were going, where they weren't going?
I don't think Jeter was ever a good front office guy. Like, I don't think he ever should have been in a role to make decisions, personnel decisions like that. He wanted control, and it was just weird from the start when I heard Jeter is going to be a minority owner in the Marlins. I'm like, that is strange to me. He's a Yankee through and through. What does he have to do with the Marlins? And ultimately it didn't work out. There was a contract. He handled everything very badly. He wanted Avisail Garcia, who was an outfielder at the time from the Brewers. That was his guy, and $50 million contract. He was a total bust, total albatross of a deal. Bruce Sherman will never give that money out again. And Jeter's out a couple years after that. It was just messy. I didn't like it. Looking back on it, I didn't really know at the time what was going on because I wasn't as, I guess, involved in what goes on behind the scenes in terms of personnel decisions. But looking back, hindsight's always 2020. That Garcia contract was awful. He didn't do anything really to elevate the team and take them to new heights. And at that point, when you have name value like that, why are you doing it? If you're not going to come in here and actually make a serious impact, positive impact, then you should just ride off into the sunset, enjoy your retirement, do your Fox TV analyst shows, but don't be an owner or a front office guy making decisions in baseball.
Okay, all right. So I mean, you're the manager for the day for the Miami Marlins. Give me your lineup. How would you stack up your lineup? Anybody who was a former Marlin or a
Ooh,
oh, give me your
or all right,
who's
yeah,
that?
I
Let's
like that.
go. Let's go. Who's at first? Who would you put at first base?
First base. All right, so let's see here.
Oh, give me your lineup, whichever way you want to do it.
Yeah. I'm gonna do a little unconventional. I'm gonna do it from the time that I started watching Marlins baseball.
Okay.
So there's gonna be players that I just really like. So about 2014, I'm gonna go Justin Bohr at first base.
Okay.
Second base, I'm going D Gordon. D Strange Gordon's one of the fastest players. He is a batting champion. Love D Gordon. Shortstop. Let's see here. I'm trying to think here. It's a good one. It's a good question. Shortstop. Um, I, we haven't had a really good shortstop in a while now. It's been tough to come by. This is the last. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna go with this is just personal preference because he gave me my first autographed baseball, a Danny Echeverria, Cuban shortstop for the Marlins. Slick fielder, couldn't hit, but man, he made some crazy plays at short. Third
Okay.
base. I'm gonna go. This is really showing me how much lack of talent we've had the last decade and a half. But it's a good thing. Third base, give me Jake Berger. Traded him away this offseason. It's a great guy. He hit a ton of home runs for us when we made that playoff push in 2023. It was a trade deadline piece. Give me Berger there. Catcher, JT Realmuto ultimately became a Philly, but one of the best Marlins catchers that I've watched. And then the outfield, it's going to be simple. You got Stanton in right, you have Yelich in center, you have Marcell Ozuna in left, Ichiro Suzuki as a pinch hitter, that fourth outfielder. And
Wow.
then on the mound, Jose Fernandez. May he rest in peace.
All right, Jose Fernandez. Yeah, I liked Jose Fernandez. When I first saw him, I was like, wow, kid's amazing. This kid's
Yeah.
he's awesome. He had the it. He had the
Oh
it.
yeah.
You could
He
look
had
at
it
him,
all.
he had the it. And it was unfortunate the way baseball lost him and his family. And my condolences go out to them. But Jose Fernandez is one of those ones that hurt, just like Roberto Clemente, of course.
Hmm.
One of the ones that hurt, you know. But yeah, that's I like the lineup. I like the lineup. I'll put that in a game one day. Maybe with
Yeah.
get one of those AIs or something, and they'll let you set up the lineup, and you'll see where you can use that whole team the whole year. It's let them pitch in
Right.
every day and see what you got. That's awesome stuff. All right, so I mean, here we are. We're talking about the Marlins, and if you can make the call, the play-by-play of a Marlins winning a World Series, give me that play-by-play. Uh-oh, yeah, here we go. Give me that
Gotta
play.
drink some water for that.
Hey, yeah, you got what
All
we got?
right. So here we go. Bases loaded, 2 outs. That's the scenario. All right.
All right.
Here we go. Marlins, one strike away from winning their third World Series in franchise history. Pitcher comes set at the belt. Line in the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Marlins win the World Series. E plus.
That's great. That's great. That's awesome. I love it. I love it. It's amazing. I never you'd have told me 20, 30 years ago that I would be at Marlins Park in Miami, that I would touch that field, get on that field, get in the locker rooms and stuff like that. It's I would have told you you're a fool. But yeah, Marlins, you've adopted me as one of your guys, and I love the stadium. I love the atmosphere. The Caribbean World Series did a big eye opening for me. Um, I got to see Latin people from all over the Caribbean, different countries, different worlds. And even though we all look at each other and say we're different, as I like to say, we eat the same plantain. Whether you
Mm-hmm.
want to fry it or you want to smash it, or whether you want to slice it and dice it, it's the same plantain. And when I got to see the Dominicans, buying beer for the Puerto Ricans buying drinks for the Venezuelans, they won it all out in the Caribbean World Series, and to see the camaraderie and all the Latin brothers getting together, it was amazing to me, and that's exactly what Major League Baseball. Like I said, they did it right. They did it right. Even the team Israel, the fans were Israel. I was there for the Puerto Rico shutting down Israel,
Mm,
and even they were shaking our hands. They were, showing us love, and I would have never thunk anything like that. Uh,
that's awesome.
my other favorite thing is the bobblehead area that they have over there.
Yeah, I like that.
If
Bobblehead
it,
Museum.
yeah, the bobblehead museum, that's also awesome. and you can walk around, you can make laps around that whole stadium. It's amazing. You get to see different views. I've been behind home plate, I've been in left field, I've been in right field, I've been third base, first base. Hell, I was all the way up top at the Caribbean World Series, that underneath the number 42. I was in that last row up there, straight away center field, and not even that was a bad seat. That was a great seat also. And they had that little club there. And the funniest thing I saw, I was at the club, and there was some drunk girls, and they were banging on the glass as one of the pitchers was warming up. And he just looked at them, and they were like, "Give me a ball, give me a ball." Well, he took the ball and he bounced it off the glass, and she went to catch it. I'm sitting there like, this guy. Funny,
That's funny.
but that was amazing. And what was it? Arousarena.
Oh
Arousarena
yeah,
doing
yeah.
the WBC right there, and that left field wall, making that catch, and just listening to that whole place erupt.
Erupt. Yeah.
I was
Just
at that
roar.
game. I tell you, that place was vibrating. And we were there for the Curacao, Puerto Rico. They had opened the roof. And at one point, it was this big, like, shadow came up on the field, and I looked down and I looked up, and there was a plane going directly right over the stadium into the
Oh
airport.
wow.
I'm like, whoa. I was like, that bad boy was big. he was
Yeah.
he was low, so it's amazing stuff. But yeah, I wish you luck on the podcast. And so if anybody wants to get in touch with you, how would they do it?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter, hit me up, my DMs are open, tag me at Jeremiah Geiger 2, just like my name should be on here too, so you can spell it. And then Locked On Marlins, just type it in the YouTube search engine. And if you want to watch it, hit that subscribe button, and then Spotify, Apple, Amazon Music, all the streaming platforms. Locked On Marlins is out there too. So, if you like the Marlins or somebody you know likes the Marlins, like this is a great podcast to check out.
Yeah, it is. This is one of the reasons that I got in touch with you, because I love the way you were talking about it, and there's no sugarcoating it. When
Yeah,
you're bad, and when you're good, you're good. And then you really get down to the nitty gritty, the good, the bad, the ugly, as they say. And don't worry. But guys, listen, if you like Jeremiah, don't worry. Me and him have been talking. We're gonna do some stuff together. And it's gonna be not Marlins. It's not gonna be who's on first. It's gonna be something else. We're thinking about some stuff. All right, guys. Everybody, like I said, follow Jeremiah. Check me out, subscribe, like, make that comment. Let us know what's going on. If you love me, say you love me. If you don't like me, say you love me. All right. All right, guys. As we say here on Who's On First, keep swinging.
If you like the show, please do me a favor. Subscribe. Right. You see it? It's right there. Subscribe, share, like, and don't forget, put that bell on. It'll ding you when I put something else on, all right?